the lie that we are always told, especially when it comes to becoming a dad, is that, when you become a dad, you're gonna get overweight and everything like that. It's like the freshman 15. And I'm here to say that that is not true. You don't have to be fat when you become a dad. Welcome to the Daily Effort Podcast. My name is Sam, and if it's your first time listening, welcome, because this whole podcast, what it's about is really uncomplicating success and making it as simple as possible, because success really, at the end of the day, and whatever success means to you, it is simple, but at the same time, it's difficult because there's simple tasks you have to do on a daily basis to get to where you want to go. So I want to be able to take and share from my experiences thus far in life to give to you so that you can take the things that I've learned, apply them to your life, and start to see the success that you personally want. And I have a long ways to go, but as I continue to go, I want to give you the things that I have learned and continue to see that actually work. So that's what this whole podcast is actually about. And today, what we're going to be diving into, and I say we, me, what I will be diving into, I got a question recently, and I'd asked people if they want to submit a question. I'm happy to go through it on the podcast. So that's what I'm going to do. Someone asked me the question of, how did really my fitness change once I became a dad? How did other things change once I became a dad? So I'm going to really dive into that and talk about, well, how did I actually stay on track with my fitness journey? And in my opinion, be the fittest I've ever been, to be completely honest. So I'm going to talk about that, because the lie that we are always told, especially when it comes to becoming a dad, is that, when you become a dad, you're gonna get overweight and everything like that. It's like the freshman 15. And I'm here to say that that is not true. You don't have to be fat when you become a dad. I'm just going to be blunt with it. So that's what I'm going to dive into now. With this episode specifically, I know it's very targeted towards dads. However, I know I have a lot of ladies who listen, which I appreciate. So hopefully, honestly, you get something out of this episode. I feel like you might, because there's going to be the lessons that will apply to you, even though I won't be able to speak specifically from like a mom's perspective or anything like that. I feel like there will still be some key takeaways for you that you can apply to your life. So now, if you get value from the episode, all I ask is that you make sure that you share it with a friend, share it on social media, because that's the only way I'm able to actually grow this podcast in particular. And I want to continue to grow it so I can push out the information that I'm learning, I'm applying to my life, that's working for me, so that I can continue to impact as many people as I can. Now, as far as the episodes go, I will roll out one episode a week, and I will roll out an episode at 5 a.m. on Mondays. You can watch it on YouTube, and also you can listen or watch it on Spotify. I don't know if y'all know that, but you can watch the video on Spotify. You can toggle between it. I don't know how many people really like watching the video, so feel free to give me that feedback. But if you really if some more questions pop up as I'm going through this episode, I encourage you, drop them inside the comments. I know a few of you have commented on the episodes, which I really do appreciate, but I encourage you, just drop them in the comments below on Spotify, or you can always shoot me an email or anything like that, or hit me up on social media. I'm happy to answer any questions that you'll have. I'm starting to compile some, so if I skip over yours, please send me a reminder just in case I forget, because it's not going to offend me by any means. So now, with diving into today's episode, talking about how did really life and my fitness adjust when I became a dad, the first thing I really had to adjust is just my expectations. I really had to look at things a little bit differently, because when we had Layla, and when I say we, I should say my wife, Amy, when she had Layla, I was really working on my strength, because it's been a goal of mine to front squat 315. That's something that I'm working towards right now. Right now, I'm right around that 280, 285 mark on my front squat max. And when Layla was born, the amount of time shrunk significantly when she came came into the world. Main reason being is because she was super colicky, which for those of you who are not parents, if you don't know what colic is, she was colicky because she had silent reflux, which we did not know that at the time. So she couldn't sleep like a normal baby, so to speak. If we laid her on her back, she would automatically start screaming. And Amy and I, we were contact sleeping for probably a good 2 months. And I got to give props to Amy because Amy is a phenomenal mom. She deals with pretty much everything when it comes to Layla because Amy's a stay-at-home mom, and that's something that, we're really fortunate to do. But Amy bears a lot of that load when it comes to stuff. So she was still breastfeeding, so I was still taking Layla in every 2 hours or so Amy could feed her. So Amy did not get a lot of sleep. So, and I still got okay sleep, but we just sat, and I motion over here because if you're watching on YouTube, my whole environment changed since I record my podcast pretty late in the evening. Layla and Amy are already asleep. So I actually came up to our living room. So when I motion over here, the couch is off to my left, but when it came to how we contact slept with Layla, we literally slept on the couch and just took turns back and forth. As soon as I get home from working at First Form, I would take over, basically take care of Layla from 7:30 p.m. ish. Amy would take over at 12 a.m. and usually from 12 a.m. to 1 a.m. I was knocking out some work stuff or just doing my own personal development like reading and stuff like that. Then I'd go to bed and get up at 6 and start working out. But I share all of that because, and I share that my main thing that I was focusing on when Layla was born was strength, was because as soon as she was born, I just had to accept the fact that in the season of life that I was in, I might not be able to focus on strength like I was. And it's just due to the fact that, strength training, usually the workouts are a little bit longer. Not saying that they have to be super long, but they were a little bit longer. And the thing that I started to do was just create shorter workouts. That was the main thing. And even though I was like, I might not get stronger, but I'm still gonna do my best to create some workouts that I'll still be able to do 3 or 4 days a week. That was my main thing. I still want to be able to work out. Now, I only had about 20 to 30 minutes to actually work out. So I had a very limited amount of time to actually work out. But I'll get to that in a second. So the first thing, especially if you're a dad, you have to reset your expectations. Like you might be wanting to get a hour-long workout in or something like that. And I'm just telling you, probably early on, it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen by any means. And that's okay. The goal is to just move and stay moving and stay in shape. That's the important thing. But early on, don't expect to just work out for an hour and a half or 2 hours. Because the thing is, if you go too far one way, you got to remember you got a family at home now. And you got to take that into consideration. You might not be able to do what you once used to do. You might not have as much time to yourself. That's just the fact. Like once you have kids, you don't have as much time to yourself. I'm just going to say it for those of you who don't have kids, you have all the time in the world. And for those of you who have 2 or 3 kids, you could probably tell me I have all the time in the world. It's just a perspective. And I know that if Amy and I are blessed enough to have a few more kids, I'm probably just going to be saying this more and more and more, that I had all the time in the world when I just had Layla. But that's neither here nor there. The main thing that I want to point out is shift your expectations around what you're wanting to do. You might be wanting to just spend all this time or lift all this weight or chase really, really, really extreme goals like you did once before, and maybe you can't do that. I'm not saying that you can't, because I know some people who can. I know some people who do. But it just depends on the scenario you got going on at home. Because if you have a colicky baby early on, you're probably not going to be able to do that. Now, if you have a baby that sleeps like normal, that they sleep in their bassinet pretty quickly, honestly, your life doesn't change that much. For those of you who have a baby who sleeps normally, if you're a dad, you have no excuse. Your wife's probably doing most of the work anyways. Like, you have no excuse not to work out. So that's just another thing that I'm going to be getting into it here in just a second. But adjust your expectations. Second thing, get rid of your excuses. You have to get rid of your excuses and take ownership of the fact that if you want to actually be able to work out, well, you're going to have to make time for it. And that's just anything in life. And with the whole premise of the podcast of uncomplicating success, that applies whether you're a dad, whether you're a mom. You have to learn how to take full ownership of your life. And even though things might not be ideal, adjusting things so you can work towards the things that you actually want and figure it out. No different than this podcast. Look, I'll be honest with y'all. I don't record the podcast the same time every day of the week. Sometimes I do it on Saturday, sometimes it's Friday. Like when I'm recording this podcast right now, it's 9 o'clock on a Wednesday that I'm recording it. And why I'm doing that is because it's what I have time for. And why I'm doing that is because this is a priority to me. And since it's a priority, I'm going to find the time to actually do it. A lot of times I'll record the podcast at 10 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock at night, because I know I've gotten some feedback that y'all really appreciate it. And I want to continue to put it out because it means a lot. And I want to continue to push myself to get better so I can keep bringing value to y'all. So if something is a priority, you will make time for it. You'll find the time in the schedule, whether it's early in the morning, late in the evening, maybe in the middle of the day. You'll figure it out. But applying to the fitness conversation here, especially if you're a dad, you got to get rid of excuses and figure things out and find that time. So get rid of the excuses. Then the third thing is really design workouts that will fit within the time that you have. Because like I was saying earlier, when Layla was born and we were contact sleeping because she was so colicky, the thing is I didn't have a full hour. I had 20 to 30 minutes because I wanted to make sure I allowed Amy to at least take a shower before I went to work at First Form. Because, well, the thing is, she was literally stuck with Layla all day. And I know that's what she signed up for. I know that she loves being a mom. But just imagining not getting to shower for like several days in a row. So I at least wanted to make sure she could feel somewhat like a human and take a shower because I knew she was bearing the brunt of the workload when it came to taking care of Layla. And this is where I know as a guy, you might say that, well, you're providing for the household and blah, 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 blah. This is my viewpoint on it. When you are the man of the household, you signed up to do more work. Now, in my opinion, stay-at-home moms do a lot of work because they really don't get a break. So in my opinion, my job is easier than Amy's job. That's just my opinion. For the other dads out there, you can have your own opinion on it, but I'm just saying a stay-at-home mom, they really don't have a break, to be completely honest. And then for those of you who are moms out there that are working a career and you're still having kids, in my opinion, that's even more difficult. And then if you think about it, let's take a mom that's a single mom that's working and trying to take care of kids. I don't know how that works out. That's just wild to me, to be completely honest. But when it comes to this, I don't even remember the point that I was making with that. Oh, it was adjusting the amount of time that you have to work out. So I had 20 to 30 minutes. And with that, what I did, I just had started out my workouts with, I warmed up a little bit, but I started out my workouts with a heavy compound movement. I would do bench, front squats, and barbell press. And I'm trying to remember what the other one was. I don't remember what the other main compound movement was. I'll have to look in my phone because I still have the workouts written out. So if you want the workouts, I'll send them to you. But I've started out each workout with a heavy compound movement. It was a 4x5, pretty much every single time. And every single week I would just dip down, okay, 4 reps, 3 reps, 2 reps, 1 rep, then restart the whole thing. It was very simple. So I did a 4x5 of a compound movement. Let's say I'm doing legs. Well, I would do 4x5 on front squat. Then what I would do, I would go straight into a 10-minute EMOM. And then, not an EMOM, AMRAP. Sometimes I would do EMOM, but most of the time it was an AMRAP. So I would just get as many rounds as I could of typically 4 different exercises. I picked 4 exercises, 2 of them, since it was leg day, 2 of them had to do with legs. Then 2 of them would be other body parts. And those were the workouts that I did for 2 months. And coming out of it, my strength was still good. My conditioning was honestly really good as well. And even now, looking at my physique is probably really the best it's ever been, to be completely honest. So with this piece, you really have to, number one, make sure you, like I was saying at the beginning of this episode, you have to make sure that you reset your expectations. You can't expect to go in and maybe do what you used to do. Then secondly, get rid of your excuses. Thirdly, find workouts and design workouts that will fit within your schedule, and be okay with that. If you reset your expectations earlier on, you will be okay with working out with less amount of time. And the last thing that I'll probably say about all of this, unless I think of something else as I'm talking, will be you just can't stop. And it sounds so cliche, but if I look back, and this is a piece of advice that I will give anybody, this applies to dads, moms, even if you're not, whoever you are, the only reason I've been able to achieve the things that I have so far in my life is because I've just stayed very consistent. And I still have a long ways to go with the things that I want to achieve, but I'm still pretty happy with the things that I've gotten so far. For example, like going into engineering, I didn't think I could do engineering. I did engineering. I did pretty good with my engineering, but I went from engineering straight into a career that was really completely 180 degrees. Working at First Form, that's not like, it's not the engineering. I don't do anything to do with engineering. It's a completely different career field. And going into it, well, I went from starting position and then worked my way up to a manager position. So I run a team internally now. And I've been able to knock off several of my goals. I got a lot of stuff on my vision board that I want to work towards, but I've been able to, get a house in the time frame that I wanted, a good starter home, redo it, then move out of here in probably about 5 years. I was able to get the truck that I had wanted for a long time. Now got another one that I'm going to be focusing on and working towards. And, I've been able to go on some of the vacations that I wanted, and Amy and I have some more things laid out. So I've been able to accomplish a lot of things just because I've stayed disciplined to a process, and I've continued to go and develop skill sets and do my best to provide value to people. And I'm still not perfect at it. However, I'm continuing to grow and grow and grow and grow and grow at it. So you just can't stop. When it comes to being a dad, like I said before, and I probably stopped short of the thought, but when you're the man of the household, you automatically signed up for more. Like, no one should be telling you good job. Like, that's your role to tell your wife good job. It's like, and honestly, like, I don't do that enough to Amy. I really don't. It's like, it's an area that I can improve on and tell her how much I appreciate her and do things for her. Like, I could do a better job of that. But so much of the time we think that our wives should, when we come in the door, we feel like, well, they just don't understand how long of a day I've had. They should take care of the kids. They've been with the kids all day potentially. And they, especially if you're married to a stay-at-home mom, they have not had an adult conversation probably all day, most of the time. And you will be the only adult conversation that they've had that day. So with this piece, you can't quit with doing the workouts if you're wanting to get in shape, and you have to consistently keep going with it, because the biggest lie we have been told over and over and over again is that when you become a dad, you get out of shape. And that's just not true. Just because you become a dad doesn't mean you got to get freaking fat. And in my opinion, you shouldn't. It's like as soon as you become a dad, you have more of a responsibility to set a good example for your kid or kids. And your family is counting on you to be the best at everything that you do. And that's the thing I always keep at the front of my mind is that Amy and Layla, if I don't show up and give my best effort every single day, well, then that's me taking food off of the table for them. And it seems a little extreme, but that's how you have to think, or you will just start to fall into complacency, and you'll start to get a very entitled attitude and just completely think that, well, your wife should take care of you, or whatever it is. It's like you do so much, and you need to relax and things like that. And it's just not true. Like as a dad, as a man, you are expected to do more. And no one should have to really thank you. It's like, or praise you. Now, is it nice every once in a while? 100% it actually is. And Amy, she does a really good job of it. Like, honestly, she does. But you can't expect that peace. So when it comes to how things change, really, when I became a dad, well, I just accepted the fact that I'm not going to maybe increase my strength like I actually wanted, which was not true. My strength ended up going up a lot more than I thought it would, and my conditioning followed as well. And then I continued to make sure I was getting rid of excuses, like here at home, at my career at First Form. I had to make sure that I still performed to where I needed to be, and it was honestly continued to do very well. Then the third thing is, like, I had to really make sure I'm fitting the workout within the required amount of time that I have. And then the last thing, I had to make sure that I just didn't stop and kept going. There were some weeks that were good, some weeks that weren't, some days that were good, some days that were not. But going back to the main the whole name of the podcast, the Daily Effort Podcast, the goal is to put in the correct effort on a daily basis so that you can get to where you want to go. Correct effort with the right things. And I know that's always one of the things you can control. And we hear it a lot. Attitude and effort. And as a dad, it's your obligation to control your effort with what you are putting in on a daily basis. When you go to work, well, you have to make sure you are putting in max effort. And what max effort looks like is preparation and planning and making sure you're improving your skill sets there so you can continue to move up and provide more for your family. And then also, when you do have an opportunity to work out, it's making sure you give everything you have to that as well. So as a dad, if you are a dad and you're listening right now, and maybe you're thinking you need to get in shape, well, I encourage you. Well, I'm happy to help. Reach out, let me know. I'd be more than happy to help. But then also get rid of your excuses. And that you can't have that. It's like you have the time to get in shape. You can actually get in shape. You're just too lazy to actually do it. And that's the thing I will always remind myself of. If there's something that I'm not diving in and doing, I'm just being lazy. And then I need to get my stuff together. Just get things together and go. So that's a little bit of how life changed on the fitness side once I became a dad, and how things have continued to evolve and change as Layla has gotten older. And I know things are just going to continue to change, and I'm going to have to continue to adjust. So I hope this was valuable to y'all. I hope you got a little bit out of it. If you have more questions, drop them in the comments below. But if you got value from that episode, please share it. Just subscribe as well. That would be great. And just, I want to continue to push this out. If there's any topic that you would like me to dive into, please shoot it my way and I'll absolutely dive into it. But other than that, have an awesome day. Have a great rest of your week and God bless.